whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on do our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Nigga. Guys, I'm sorry I'm having a few technical difficulties. I was trying to play my trailer like I always do, and somehow or another, YouTube is logging me out. Google, I should say, is logging me out. Give me 1 second, excuse me. Uh, Hi, I'm attorney Gavin in Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jello, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In 2 years of research, with some help from others in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format. What's up, everybody? We're just gonna go ahead and get started. What's going on? What's going on? I'm gonna go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, if you'd like to advertise, go to our gavin.juris1@gmail.com. Go to the Patreon. What's up, family? You saw the trailer for the book for Bill Cosby. You can go to @Commonwealth What is up, family? I am just coming back from my trip in Memphis with my family. Not Memphis. I was out in Franklin, so I was doing a convention there. We got a lot that I want to talk about real quick tonight on the channel. And I was watching. How y'all doing tonight? I saw Mark. I saw you, Mark. Thank you. And so I'm getting ready to do the show live, and y'all know what's up. Come on, I'm gonna see who's in the chat. Is everybody watching the Oscars? Is that's what it is? What's up, Mark Stewart? Man, I was getting ready to come on here. So yeah, I was preparing to do the show. That's our website too for Naughty's Creole Blends. And so I got word. I'm watching and hearing that the Oscars are on, and I mean the Oscars. There are already people complaining about. You're seeing about the ratings, whether how low it will be, because they've been suffering in recent years over low ratings. And then I find out, or something was trending on Twitter as I'm watching. And it looked like Will Smith got into it with Chris Rock, or he did, and he actually. Man, y'all should. So yeah, Will Smith just won Best Actor award, but Will got caught. Yeah, we know why you're here. I might have to retire my Will and Jada jokes if Will decides to fly down to Louisiana and smack me. But so let's just get into it. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Oscars, but I saw it was trending. You know, Chris Rock was making a joke. Chris Rock was cracking jokes in the crowd, and he made a joke about Jada Pinkett, and Jada has alopecia, and she has a condition called alopecia, and so Chris Rock joked that he would love to look forward to seeing her in G.I. Jane 2. So you could tell Jada didn't like it. The audience oohed and awed, and even Will smiled a little bit. But then I think Will came to his senses and saw his wife was not happy about the joke. Somebody wrote on Twitter, I wondered why Chris should have came back and said, "Did you slap August like that?"
Wow! Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Put my name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
G.I. ジェーンのジョークだったんです。
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
テレビ史上最高の場面でしょうか。
So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out.
Yeah, Questlove won Oscar for a documentary film, and Will Smith just won Best Actor, and he was apologizing to his nominees and so forth. But I'm gonna just say this: Will should have slapped August like that. Somebody wrote. Let me say this. I'm gonna address this. I'm gonna try and get into the other stuff too, but I gotta spend some time on this. Superstar says Will is mad. They better quit playing because Will. Let me just say this. All right, Will Smith has been in the entertainment industry for over 35 years, since he was a rapper with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You know, when they had that collaboration. He has been on, of course, a highly rated series with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He has done and gone those blockbuster movies. Apparently he's been married to Jada Pinkett Smith for 25 years or more. They have children together. They've been around. Will really did slap Buck Dancing Chris Rock. Let me say this though. And yes, it is the job of a husband to defend his family and his wife. But here's the thing too. You're in the entertainment industry. I know Will Smith I remember in learning this, Will Smith and I know Will Smith has known Chris Rock for years. I've seen them actually together at award shows before. He was cracking jokes, so I know he's familiar with Will and Jada. Okay, but they're in the public though, Super Bella. That is their business, but they put that's their business, but you know what? They air their business out in public. So you can't put the genie out the bottle and then complain when everybody wants to make a wish. That's part of, it's like trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's been exposed already. Now their marriage is their marriage. I mean, it's their business, but they are celebrities, and part of being a celebrity, people will comment on you. And if you listen to Will's after speech, he was emotional. He did apologize, and Tariq is even talking about it right now. Now, what was happening? So you think this was staged? Tariq is talking about it now. Now, Denzel and Tyler Perry, after this, went up to Will to pull him aside. To calm him down.
Yeah, I think so, but I can't do the third person. Oh, yeah. Is that Danny Brennan?
You say Chris? I don't want to get a copyright strike. So, Superstar Belly, you say Chris went too far, did as alopecia, it's not funny to lose your hair unruly. I mean, I'm losing my hair unruly too. My hair is not growing back. I mean, what goes too far as a comedian? See, I'm looking at this. So you guys have not been on the stand-up stage. I have. Comedians and their job is to make fun of people and, well, not just to crack jokes. is to make people laugh. And sometimes some people will say things, you may say things that are not funny. That's called bombing. You may also say stuff that a lot of people may find that is offensive. You have different audiences that like certain things. I've learned, and especially in being in this business, is that you're not going to please everybody. Now, what Will Smith did, guys, whether you liked it or not, you think it was great that he stood up for his wife. By definition of the law, that is assault. If you touch someone, no matter what they say to you, no matter how much would he have made fun of a white woman that had alopecia at the Oscars? Well, would Will Smith have slapped Don Rickles if Don Rickles was cracking jokes on his wife at the Oscars? I could say the same thing. Probably not, but I think Will wouldn't have done that if that was Don Rickles either. It's comedy. I mean, it was a joke. It didn't go, it was bad. I'm never going to say, I mean, listen, I've heard worse at at shows about people. I've heard people make a Chris Benoit joke. I remember at the roast of Flavor Flav, Jimmy Kimmel actually said, Bella, you don't know who Don Rickles is? Well, he's dead, but Don Rickles, Google Don Rickles. Don Rickles was an insult comedian. Don Rickles was around back in the 1960s. He was Frank Sinatra's, he basically got a career push because of Frank Sinatra. And he would make fun of everybody. Don Rickles made fun of black people. He made fun of Jewish people. He made fun of Spanish people, Italians, Irish, celebrities. He made fun of everybody. He wasn't a vulgar comic, and yeah, he would usually base his jokes off stereotypes. Yeah, he was in Casino, but I knew him from the roast that he did from Dean Martin. Let me go up and pull this video. But by definition, that was assault. Will Smith could have actually been arrested for doing that. He could still be arrested if the prosecutor wants to press charges, although that's likely not going to happen. And you know what's going to make this worse is I'm going to tell you, Chris Rock is coming up with a new tour, so he's going to have a whole new set of jokes, and I'm sure Will not like it. But you know, this is Don Rickles. Bella. And Don Rickles, I won't play it because I might get a copyright strike, but he was on a Tonight Show with Johnny Carson for over 100, I think 100 appearances. He appeared more than any other comedian, probably more than even Bill. I know Bill Cosby's been on it a bunch of times, but yeah, he made fun of everybody. So people, I get why, and especially those who were upset with Chris Rock, because you know Chris Rock, this is not just about that. If you remember back in 2015, 2016, Will was up for an Oscar for Concussion, where he played that doctor who discovered CTE. And I remember Chris Rock was the host of the Oscars. Will Smith did not like or was not nominated, as well as countless other black actors were not nominated. A couple of films weren't nominated, and there was something trending called Oscars So White. And so Chris was very lethal with the jokes. Honestly, if I had cracked a joke and Will Smith, it came up to me and slapped me, I'd have to punch the fuck out of him. I'm gonna be real with you. He wouldn't have, because I know if Bernie Mac was cracking jokes, Bernie would run his jokes in the side of you. Will would not come up to Bernie because Bernie was a Chicago dude. South side of Chicago. And I like Will. I do. I think he's a good brother, deep down. And then he gave his acceptance speech. He talked about how he had to channel Richard Williams and he was a protector of these women like Angie Ellis, who's nominated for Best Actress. Yeah, I mean, Ricky Gervais, exactly, Boss the Queenie. I've seen Ricky Gervais cracking jokes. Ricky Gervais, was hosting, was it the Screen Actors Guild Award, and was doing jokes about Harvey Weinstein in front of people, and they were clearly uncomfortable. You're gonna make people uncomfortable, and I'm gonna say this as a comedian: this is a dangerous time to do stand-up because everybody is sensitive now, and if we got people, especially entertainers, who can't take a joke, then we need to throw away the whole comic industry right now is in trouble. The stand-up is in trouble. And it's happened before. People get emotional. I mean, I've had people talk in my sets, and you know what? I've seen, yeah, okay. I mean, it's comedy. If you can't take jokes, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. Now, I'll tell you, for me personally, there may be some things in my set I may not do just by reading on this. Yeah, I may do, I may not do. Your job is to push the envelope as a comedian. That's what separates the Richard Pryors from the Carlos Mencias, or that's jokey. But y'all get what I'm saying. But I mean, and the Oscars then turned into the Source Awards. I mean, damn. And Denzel, Will Packer is the producer. So could that have been set up because Chris looked like, my girl is just texting me, did I see the footage? Sorry, y'all, I'm texting. So yeah, this is a dangerous time. If we can't crack jokes on somebody, we we can't make money. The business is gone. What did the five fingers say to the face? Slut! I mean, damn. Keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth. Tariq is talking about Tariq. Title is called The Slap. Shit, Chris could have gone on and been brutal if he wanted to. Chris could have did some August Alsina jokes. That was bad. That was bad. So, man, what we're going, I was gonna talk about the other topics, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna set up everything. Yeah, please feel free to donate to the channel. I know I'm running against Tariq, and everybody's gone to Tariq now. The Source Awards, yeah, I guess the Oscars are so black now. Just that was residual anger from August, exactly. I mean, damn, you gotta learn how to keep your cool. Now, let me say, there are instances as a husband, you have to defend your wife. Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. There was an instance with my father that he told me about years ago where he was at a party with my mom. This was before, obviously, I was born. And this guy made an offhand remark. It was about my mother, about how he liked to basically have her in bed. Of course, my father was the opposite of happy when he heard that, because it was not a joke. Even if it was a joke, yeah, I don't think that was a joke in good taste. And yeah, Will did laugh. But then he saw Jada obviously was in distress and didn't like it. Now I wonder what's that going to do for Bel Air. Now this should have been in Bel Air. You can write this in Bel Air, Will. This what should have happened in the last Bel Air episode. I wanted Uncle Phil to slap off Chief Wilkes for having that information on you, Will. Adult Will, of course. This, what 1990s Will. He had this information on the 2022 Will Smith. The alternate timeline. Yeah, they did. Finally, because they're nominated, they want to be at the Oscars. I mean, but people gonna make fun of you when you're in the public eye. People gonna crack jokes. People will say things. People have said stuff about me. They got people that trend and that always say something online about me that's not true, that I don't like. I could spend all of my energy and time addressing it, or I could be doing something creative, building something positive so you all could see me. Like what I do with this platform. I want to put phone lines in so y'all can call in. I must do that. That's the next thing I want to do. I know, and I've promised, and I'm sorry, I had promised you all some projects that were supposed to come up, and I keep pushing it back. And a part of the reason why I keep pushing it back is because I have another job I'm working. And that takes up my time. But I'm working on it. And when I say I want to do something, I'm a man of my word. I want to do it. I've been told no so many times in this business. When I did my, I don't know if you guys went to my Patreon, but I did my stand-up special. I was headlining out in Lafayette at the Worst Beer Garden. I remember when people would tell me, oh, you're not funny. You're not going to do this. Tell me, no, I can't. I got somebody else doing this. I don't think you're ready. Man, Will was destroying manhood. Should have did that to August. I mean, people are not going to like everything you do. And he was talking about that even in his acceptance speech. And I get it. Yeah, Will Smith. I know Will Smith. Will Smith, I don't know him personally. I think he's like I said, I think he's a good dude. I don't even know Chris Rock, because Chris Rock, I mean, yeah, and then he was crying. Yeah, he wasn't restoring no manhood. If Will Smith wasn't nominated for playing King Richard, I don't think Chris Rock, if he wouldn't care about what jokes Chris Rock cracked. He wouldn't even be at the Oscars. Let's be real. I mean, I saw, and I don't think it was, I just saw Steve Brown a couple of years ago. Steve Brown was performing at a comedy club and somebody jumped on the stage attacking him. Now, I don't know I think that person who attacked him, I believe, had PTSD or some mental issues. So that factored in. But I have seen where some people in the audience, of course, have heckled the comedians. I've seen them throw things. It's insane. So it's starting to be dangerous in this world of comedy. But no, Chris, and he didn't apologize to Chris. But to be real, do y'all think Will would have rolled up on Don Rickles? I know he would not have rolled up on Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was a man. He would not have rolled up on, I don't even know if he would have rolled up on Steve. I mean, that would be if Chris Rock did a joke about August Alsina and they complained about it. Who was the one that brought up August Alsina? Jada, Will. They talked about it on TV. And I know Harvey's gonna make it. You know what Harvey's gonna make it about? It's gonna be about karma for the way Chris Rock's been talking about the black community and how he didn't defend Bill Cosby. No, he wouldn't have rolled up on. You said he had Will and Jada's blessing. That was still, yeah. I don't think he had Will's blessing. I mean, I know they swing, but Will. You got to remember this too. This is Will. This was Jaden's friend. Still, this was Jaden's friend. This was somebody young enough to be Jada's son. This was her son's best friend. That's why I'm looking at that. I'm like, really? I can't wait for the next Red Table Talk. Yeah, Chris is not married, but I mean, Jada and Will sleep. Then him and Jada should have slapped August. Shit, Will should have divorced Jada. Fuck. After that. Yeah, I mean, I would have slapped. Yeah, he should have slapped him. But August was dying too at that time. He was sick. It wasn't a fight, computer robots. All that would happen, and I'll play it again if you want, but all that happened is essentially Chris cracked a joke on Jada about her bald head. Will obviously didn't like it, and he just slapped him. So I'll just share it here. Hold on. At first it looked staged. I mean, look how Chris is standing there. Just look how Chris is standing there. Just look. So that's
Whoa! Holy! You! What the fuck?
and Jada cure. She gave him a cure that you can't find in your medicine cabinet.
The fuck?
Jada cure. She gave him a A cure that you can't find in your medicine cabinet. Can't get that off the Walgreens shelf. Yeah, and Chris had no reaction. We talking about this, man. This one took over everything because I'm gonna get into my topic. So, but yeah, they're gonna be talking about this for weeks. You know how the media is gonna play it up. She gave him some sexual healing, yeah. So let's talk about it. Since we talk about black on black crime, let's talk about this white media in blackface that's folding. BNC, ladies and gentlemen, after 2 years, is folding from mainstream media, or even if it was mainstream media, it's folding from your cable networks and you. It so what happens is that Jaguar is also one of the, is a creator of AEW, which is the elite elite wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's what it's called. And I'm sorry, why I'm having the weirdest time right now with my would be shutting down after 2 years because they had lack of funding. The reports were confirmed that day on March 25th, 2022, by CEO Princell Hare. Live programming had stopped at about 5 p.m. that afternoon. Now, BNC was available in over 52 million homes compared to over 83 million for the major cable network outlets and 75 million for conservative news network Newsmax. Newsmax is basically replacing Fox News as the leading conservative network, and they've been around for 7 years. Now, so you had shows, of course, on air, like Charles Blow had his program, and Moise Lamont here. We know he had Black News Tonight. But J.C. Watts was responsible in part for wanted to launch a network. Now, J.C. Watts was the chairman of Student Affairs, and he was the conservative. He's a conservative Black Republican who was a Canadian football player, and he was out from Oklahoma. Now, yeah, of course. Like I said, yeah, I know they swing. We've been saying that for years. But BNC, I must apologize because I wanted to support BNC when it first came on. I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. I knew that J.C. Watts was part of it. I know his background. Yes, he's a Black Republican, but you see, I don't go off Republican, Democrat, because we all know that white supremacy and racism is on the left wing and right wing. It's all part of the same bird. It's all one bird. But I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. Of course, the old saying goes, I'd rather have people think I'm a fool than to open my mouth and remove all doubt. And of course, in the last couple of months that BNC is on, they have removed all doubt. And in particular, when you had this network and how, I'm going to pull her up here. When you have this woman who made her, let's pull her up. Okay, Beyonce on the left, and then this looks like Ed Gordon Jr. on the right here, broke ass Ed Gordon Jr. when they were talking crap about Bill Cosby and how his conviction was overturned, how he was celebrating his birthday and made a tweet and basically said you need to go somewhere. Now, these are people who are not trained in law, just like your Moise Lamont Schill, who was on with Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown ethered your Moise Lamont Schill. And your Moise Lamont Schill was trying to tell a former judge. I know Judge Joe Brown personally. As you all know, he has been on this channel. And the judge has been around as practicing criminal defense for 50 years. He was a former public defender. He was a former prosecutor. He served on the bench for 16 years in Shelby County, out in Memphis. So he has paid his dues, so he knows the law. So if you're going to ask somebody a legal question, who are you going to trust, Mark Lamont Hill or Judge Joe Brown? Who do you think has the experience? Who do you think knows what Bill Cosby was actually charged with and what the ramifications were for overturning his conviction? I call her Weavy Runda, Maximus. Yeah, but you see, Will apologized to the Academy. He didn't apologize to Chris. That's why these actors and entertainers, man, I don't listen to them no more. But yeah, the judge is obviously going to have more about it. Who would you trust? Moise Lamont Hill, Sharon Reed, and Mike Hill, or Gavin Richard, attorney at law, that earned his license and practicing law for nearly 8 years? Obviously, I think because most of you are smart, and well, it was very real. It looked real to me because it looked real to me because the uncensored clip, he's cursing out Chris Rock, computer robots, but Will Packer is producing it. We'll see what the awards, what the ratings were. So somebody said, we aren't just watching the decline of Oscars, we're watching the end of movies. That's an article from the New York Times. I'll put that up here. So yeah, BNC, and you got people like BNC. He apologized to the Academy. He didn't apologize to Chris for slapping him because he could go to jail. Realistically, he's not going to go to jail. But he could be charged with it. Let's put it that way. Did you write citrus privately? I would have. If he had came up and slapped me, I would have just have to punch. I would, like I said, I probably would have punched the shit out of him. Yeah, no doubt. Because even if I'm on the stage, like I say, you're doing comedy. I've seen like I said, I've seen comedians say some offensive stuff before, talk about people how they dress. I remember when I'm getting off topic. Y'all talking about this, so hold on. Let's stay back on. All right. But yeah, so BNC is folding after 2 years. Now, this, of course, this Shad Khan, this is a multi-billionaire, ladies and gentlemen. This is a billionaire, and you can't make payroll. And you have Rollie Pollie Martin even talking about how, Black News Channel, they losing their funding. They shutting down, and it didn't make sense because they running 24 hours. Bip, bip, bip. Your ass is operating out of a broom closet, Rollie, but we'll talk about that later. Now, and you've been on longer than me. Now, hundreds of employees. I feel sorry for the employees that were working behind the scenes, who have family, who have kids that they got to support, because they obviously need to have especially if they have one income coming in, that's bad for them. So I'm truly sorry for them. But BNC, you cannot run, you cannot run a news channel, particularly call yourself a Black news channel, and not be real and for Black people. You cannot call yourself Black news channel and be white with black face and be shields for the Democrats, saying things that with an anti-Black agenda, speaking down on Black men, speaking down on Black elders like Bill Cosby and Judge Joe Brown, not having balance. If this was even a Black conservative network that was doing the same things, the same tactics as BNC, it would fail because the people wouldn't support it. I wouldn't support it. That's the reason why BNC is out. People were not watching it. And Shad Khan, for him, this is a billionaire. And look what Moise said. He says, the real news, real exclusive is that he's refusing to give people their paychecks today. Hundreds of employees, many of whom already took significant pay cuts, are now being denied money they've already worked for. Khan, a billionaire, simply says he doesn't want to pay it. Well, that's what happens when you're not funded by the streets. The Jason Blacks, the Tariq Nasheeds, the men you all criticize, like Professor Black Truth, Vicky Dillard, Queen Adai Shakur, Real Dana, Sean James, others, people fund them. They have an audience. A lot of people, let's face it, weren't watching. Yeah, they watched the YouTube clips that were trending. But the question is, when you get on a network, are you actually watching it? Because you're paying for a subscription. If you're paying for cable, are the people watching it on cable at real time? That's where they get their ratings from, not necessarily the videos you upload on YouTube. The videos you upload on YouTube will attract an audience if the people like it. People come to this channel. I got 13 people in here. I should honestly have more, and I believe I have more, but people actually like what I do. So they're going to keep coming. And no, I don't have an audience and subscribers like Roland Martin. I'll admit that. Or even the subscribers at BNC. But I'm consistent. I stand firm with my beliefs. And I'm not bought. I'm not paid for. They got to depend on advertisers to live. I do this out of my own time. If people can donate, which is what I ask, is fine. But I mean, I work and provide for myself, and I'm building. But if the people are not for you, then how can you expect to thrive? And for a multi-billionaire like Shad Khan, whose son Tony runs AEW. I'm hearing they don't even make someone wrote an article saying AEW doesn't bring in a lot of money, like talking about it. Well, in AEW though has provided, I'll say this, an alternative to the WWE. All Elite Wrestling. Thank you. I appreciate it, Bookie. So we're going to move on, guys. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button because it's already past 11. I ain't going to try and keep us too long late here. But let's get into Rollie. Now, Rollie Pollie decided to fix his lips and talk about a bunch of people from Vicky Dillard. He didn't mention Tariq. Jason Black, he called out. Yeah, exactly. He'll always push any agenda white Democrats tell him to push. He will always be their pathetic little pet. I got blocked by Swollen, and honestly, it was the best feeling in the world. I didn't give a fuck. But I want you to listen to what he says. I want you to listen to this joker.
And again, we understand when I call it a deconstruction and masterclass. Some of y'all need to understand.
Fair use, by the way.
Fair use. Them with this here.
Fair
in
use,
2021, we did 93 million views on YouTube.
92.4 million,
13,677,000 watch hours, 1.27 billion impressions reach, views from the impressions 56.6 million. On Facebook, we have 313 million video views, 163 second views, 166.9 minute views.
Now he's talking about BNC.
People. Again, you have to manage your expectations.
Now look, he's talking about what he's done on YouTube with Roland Martin Unfiltered, right? But remember something. Roland used to be on TV One. He used to be a contributor to CNN. And Roland got fired. From CNN when he made that remark about the Doritos commercial. Now I'm seeing this. What's this?
This was Stephen Bradford, a state official there, was involved, very, very heavily involved in making this happen. You've had folks who, folks been trying to take credit. ADOS been trying to say they made it happen. FBA's been trying to make it happen. But there have been folks in California who've been fighting this a very long time before any of these folks started.
So he's throwing shade. I didn't even know this clip, but you can see here he's already throwing shade at ADOS and FBA. And by the way, ADOS is not even with FBA, so he doesn't even know the difference between the two.
Correct.
Yeah. So I get a kick out of people who
Now, I actually met Roland Martin, and I told you what I felt about him. The guy was just a jerk. So he decided to call and name drop anybody that didn't support, to call out them to support Garrett Chambers, to get the registered voters out, get out the vote.
Us, FBA, B1, Yvette Carnell, Antonio Moore, Vicky Dillard, Jason Black. Y'all gonna take y'all asses to Louisiana? Y'all gonna broadcast y'all shows from Louisiana? Or y'all?
Jason Black already broadcast his show from Louisiana, jackass. Jason is in Shreveport. I'm in Louisiana. I'm in New Orleans. I've met Roland. Roland gonna be here. Roland ain't gonna come down to Louisiana except when it's Essence Fest. So you can pick what them gay ass ascots he's be wearing. I've met the guy, like I told you, I met him. The guy's a jerk. Just look at how he talks to his guests. There's a reason why, another reason, and say what why he got fired, and people really stopped watching his show when it was on TV1 because I used to support him. I thought he was real. But then when he talked down to Umar and ambushed him and tried to say it wasn't an ambush, yeah, that wasn't no ambush. You sound stuck on Stevie. He was stupid. Roland Martin.
I'm gonna go with Gary and register black people in Louisiana.
Gary is going to do for black people in Louisiana. Registered voters. Black people have been registered to vote for the last 50 years. And where has that gotten us? You don't have but a handful of black politicians and leaders. Let's be real. I can name a few offhand that actually have done something. Maynard Jackson out in Atlanta. I can say Dutch Morial here in New Orleans. You could say Harold Washington up in Chicago. You could say during Reconstruction when you had, and that's another thing, during Reconstruction in the 1800s, we had black senators. We had black representatives. You had the first black governor of any United States state, PBS Pinchback, although his was temporary. You had those black leaders. You had things passed. They gave tangibles because they knew it was important. And thank God they did during Reconstruction, because otherwise, when Rutherford B. Hayes became president and reversed Reconstruction with his new Promise Plan, and all of those black representatives got kicked out, the senators got kicked out, the black governors like PBS Pinchback, I believe, and Oscar Dunn, I believe they actually had to leave office because of the racism that they were dealing with here in the South. They left. And had it happened sooner, let's say if Ulysses S. Grant wasn't president, and let's just think if Andrew Johnson had been president longer after Abraham Lincoln, some of the shit would have not gotten passed. And that was in the 1800s. Now we had the 20th century. Now we're in the 21st century. With all the technology that we have, we're still at the bottom. So you tell me, Rollie, and Moise Lamont here, all of these other rubber stamps for the Democratic Party, what good does that do us? And I gotta call out Gary, and I know Gary. What good is it voting Democrat when your leaders ignore you? What good is voting when black people have been voting continuously and still get the benign neglect policy from their leaders? You're appealing to illegal immigrants now. Your party is appealing to LGBTQ. When the nominee for the Supreme Court of the United States, Ketanji Brown Jackson, is asked, can you define a woman, and can't even give an answer. And let's be real about it. And I know my father was talking with a friend of his who, I won't name their names, but let's just say they're and been in politics for a while. And I know this person, he's a complete shield for the Dems. Judges aren't supposed to ask that. You know what I told my father? I said, well, he said that. Well, you should ask him, why are they doing it then today with the decisions on the Supreme Court, like with the Obergefell decision, or with the what's the other case? They're on the tip of my tongue. These decisions about transgenders using the bathrooms. Judges aren't deciding that. What is a woman? What's a man? There's a 14th Amendment issue. That's why they bring it to the court. That's why they want the laws changed. I've gotten calls. I refused to actually be a part. They want to talk with me as an attorney in my private practice about, we want to change laws in the state of Louisiana, Gavin. We would like to change the laws about allowing transgenders to use the bathroom of their choice. And I respectfully declined. I don't have to be ugly and berate people if I disagree with them. And I could care less. And look, You can listen to him because he's an alpha or whatever. I don't listen to him.
That's what I want to know. So let me just go ahead and put it out there. Antonio, Yvette, Boyce, Vicky, Miss Bad Lace Front, Jason Black, hide your ass behind your camera. Roland Martin Unfiltered is going to be in Louisiana. We're going to spend time on the ground in Louisiana, broadcasting from those small towns, talking to black people. Where y'all going to be? What y'all going to do?
Your ass going to run like they ran you out of Carolina last year. Remember when they pulled up on Roland in Carolina? Was it in Carolina? Where they pulled up on him? I don't get my states wrong. But brothers pulled up on Roland and surprised him. I'm sorry, I was looking for something else, and yeah, that's the image of Will laughing, and obviously Jada wasn't happy, but he decided when Jada. But brother TD Hip Hop, sorry, so people are sending me. Brother TD Hip Hop was talking about uh, Roland Martin, and he talked about how Roland was getting funding directly from the Democratic Party, and this makes sense because he's part of that. Now, the American Federation of State, County, and the AFs, and municipal employees, which is one of the largest and most politically active unions in the AFL-CIO. And Mr. Saunders, now this is a letter I have here from Hank Johnson, because during the pandemic, if you were aware, uh, the federal government wasn't giving COVID-19 advertisement program funds with black-owned media and advertising firms. They were cut out. And Roland was complaining about this. And so Roland was dialing in a favor from people like Mr. Saunders and works exclusively. Roland Martin Unfiltered, they work exclusively with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. And this is Mr. Saunders here. And if you click here as Brother T, now, before I click there, if you look right here, it says he is an at-large member of the Democratic Party National Committee, treasurer of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, and president of Working America. So that sounds essentially, ladies and gentlemen, like you work for the Dems. And as you look here, diversity in media. And If you look there, diversity in media. So this is the letter Hank Johnson wrote from the Congressional Black Caucus. He says here, in 2016, Congress requested the Government Accountability Office to do a study as to how much Black-owned media was receiving in federal advertising. The GAO found that over a 5-year period, the federal government spent more than $5 billion on advertising, and Black-owned businesses received only $51 million. 1.02%. Yet Roland is still going to cape for Biden. Now look at the names that signed this letter. Val Demings, Barbara Lee, Eleanor Holmes Norton, Hank Johnson Jr., Sheila Trefelis McCormick. This is just a bunch of others. David Scott, basically Bobby Rush, Anthony Brown, Al Green, Chantel Brown, all your Congressional Black Caucus, Ayanna Presley. Now Sheila Jackson Lee, she didn't sign it. I guess they gave the electronic version. All your Congressional Black Caucus members, primarily most of them, a good number, well, not all of them, but a good bit of them. But yet we're still supposed to support the Dems, and you got Fruit Booty Rollie trying to flex on all of these people who I think if you look at their numbers have more views. You notice he didn't mention Tariq because Tariq would have given him that smoke like he always does. He's too easy. Roland didn't go off like he did when he had Richard Spencer. And Roland flip-flops. Usually he flip-flops, but he's been going on. So I've gotten fed up, Rolling. I'm here in Louisiana, and I'll talk to people. I've been on the ground before you, but it's not to get no Democratic leader elected. And let's be real, Gary, you're running for state senator. You're running for senator, excuse me, not state, United States senator. And I saw Professor Jason give the numbers and breakdown, but I know I've met Gary once. We see each other on Facebook. Things have been cordial, but I've just been watching him, and I know Gary became popular when he spoke at that school board meeting about removing Robert E. Lee, and when he caught Connie Bernard looking for some shoes, shopping online when they were trying to vote against it. That's how he went viral. And here's the thing: since that time, Bernard, she didn't actually lose her seat. She didn't step down. She kept her position. They did change the name of the school, but at the end of the day, what does it do? And they got brother Gary smoking weed in some of his commercials. Now, I'm not gonna go in on Gary, like talking about it, but I'm looking at I'm not looking at symbolic gestures. I'm not looking at the fact that you're a Democrat or the fact that you're Black. I'm looking at what can you provide for me and my people? What is your agenda? That's what it needs to be about. And I had, you're going to be running against John Cassidy, who has got millions of dollars. He's got millions of dollars. You honestly think can you beat him? Even you have to even get the support from the local Democrats. Can you get it? Can you get it from the city, along the state? I mean, they got Gary spoken. I'm not trying to go at the brother, but come on, Gary. Don't do this. To flip a Louisiana Senate seat. See, that's not going to get, brother, smoking weed in a chair is not going to get young black people to come out and vote for you. No, he's not a man. He's a biscuit. That's not going to get it, brother. I want you, if you're serious about helping the people, I want you to push your agenda. And yeah, I've seen Gary go hard against white supremacists, which they're supposed to do. That's easy. It's easy to go against a heifer like Connie Bernard. Now I apologize. She did step down. She did eventually step down. When she stepped down back in 2018, she claimed it was because of her husband's cancer diagnosis. This was an update. So they updated it. But initially, she did not step down. But yeah, it's about tangibles. Exactly, Knight Rider. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Will is worried. He said he hopes he's invited back to the Oscars. So the next thing I want to talk about, no, it is not Judge Joe Brown. It is actually what I want to talk about is this tragedy that happened a couple of days ago. I don't know if anybody saw this, but this young brother was killed in a tragic accident at this. It's called the Icon in Orlando. He was participating in this in this ride, and sadly, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to see history. Okay, so
falls to his death.
This young brother, his name is Tay Thompson. Excuse me. And he was visiting, I believe, with some friends, this park. He's not from Orlando, the Florida area. He's from, I believe, St. Louis. And he fell to his death on this ride at Icon Park, this Freefall that they had. And you've seen these before where you're strapped into what they put you, obviously, not a belt, but this stiff harness, essentially, that clicks in, and you're hoisted. According to this, it's over 400 believe it's 430 feet in the air. And they drop you at a rate of 75 miles per hour. It's a free fall drop. And somewhere as they're coming down, I would say at least at best, should look like it was close to 100 feet, probably a little less. But sadly, he fell out of the harness and to his death. Now, this is from Fox 35 in Orlando. We're going to play that, ladies and gentlemen. There is video footage of it that is online, actually. I did see it. I'm sorry. I was trying to look at it because I wanted to see if the young brother was strapped in correctly. See with the footage, especially from a legal standpoint, looking at it. It was graphic. I will not play that video, though. If you want to see that, I'll put a link in the chat, but it is graphic and it's not for the faint of heart. It's not Hollywood. It's real life. Yeah, but this is from, please put the copyright disclaimer up.
A 14-year-old falls to his death, causing chaos among the people still stuck on the ride. Fox 35 with video of the incident on the brand new Orlando Freefall Tower.
At first, we thought it was a piece of the ride.
And during the middle,
The ride.
All tower.
At first, we thought it was a piece of the ride.
and during the middle of the ride, the guy just came off.
The teen falling out of his seat as the ride plunged towards the ground, still hundreds of feet in the air.
We got a little closer, and it was actually a person laying on the ground.
Fox 35 with live team coverage of the fatal fall.
Tyrese Sampson was from the St. Louis area. He played football and had hopes of going to the NFL. He was visiting Icon Park in Orlando with his friend's family. Now, the mystery remains. How did this tragedy happen?
We did obtain video of the fall, which we're not going to broadcast, but the discussion between the workers after the accident is very important. Take a listen. So here's what we know so far in this case. Orange County deputies say that Tyrese Sampson fell from the Orlando Freefall just after 11 o'clock last night. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. At 12:30 this afternoon, the sheriff said that the death appears to be an accident. Then our crews saw ride inspectors at the scene at around 1:30. That ride is still closed.
We have live team coverage of the fatal fall at Icon Park. Fox 35's Valerie Boyd talked exclusively with the teen's father. But we begin tonight with Holly Bristow. Holly, you have been looking into what went wrong yesterday.
That's right. And for much of the afternoon, an inspector from the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs was right back here at the Orlando Freefall ride. They actually took the ride from where it is mid-air all the way down to the ground. The inspectors spent quite a bit of time down, paying particular attention to this seat that it is believed that this teenager fell from. They were taking measurements. He was taking the harness device, putting it up, putting it down, tugging at the device. They were taking measurements. At one point in time, the inspector actually got in the actual chair that the teen was in, and they were taking more measurements, trying to get to the bottom of exactly what happened and how this 14-year-old boy wound up sliding out of that seat and unfortunately to his death. The Orange County Sheriff's Office was the first investigating agency on scene, and here is what Sheriff John Mina had to say.
Our role in this situation is determine whether or not this is an accident or intentional act, and this does appear just to be a terrible tragedy.
Now, amusement rides do fall under the category of the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs. They're the ones that come out here and do the inspections before these are actually cleared for people to ride on them. Those were the inspectors that were out here clear exactly how long litigation is going to take. It could take weeks, it could take months, but we'll certainly keep you posted on any update we get from them. For now, reporting live on iDrive, Holly with Fox 35 News.
Holly, thank you. And the Orlando Freefall is a brand new ride at Icon Park. It just opened up at the end of December. and 30 feet high, it is the world's tallest freestanding drop tower. It takes people slowly into the sky and then drops them at speeds of 75 miles per hour. And the company has said that other parts more about the accident here at Icon Park.
And the sheriff says the teenager was in Orlando from St. Louis with another family. Fox 35's Valerie Boyd continues our live team coverage. And Val, you spoke exclusively with the boy's dad today. What did he?
That's right, John. The victim's father, sorry, it's very emotional. The father, Yarnell Sampson, says his 14-year-old son, Tyree, was on a ride with two of his best friends when the tragedy occurred. They were visiting from St. Louis.
His 14-year-old son, Tyree, was on the Freefall ride with two of his best friends.
When the ride took off, that's when he was feeling uncomfortable. He was like, this thing is moving. You know what I'm saying? He was like, what's going on? That's when he started freaking out. And he was explaining to his friend was next to him, like, man, I don't know, man. If I can make it, if I don't make it down, I'll say, man, please tell my mom and daddy I love her. Like, you know, for him to say something like that, he must have felt something.
He says his son is 6'5" and 340 pounds.
But this one particular ride decided, yeah, we could take you, come on, get on. You know, when nobody else allowed him to get on the rides. So I wonder what happened between now and then what made him say, come on, you can get on this ride.
He says they should have stopped the ride and wants answers.
This should never happen to nobody else's child ever again. And if I have something to do with it, it never will happen again.
Yarnell says Tyree had an amazing future in football and had hopes of playing in the NFL.
14-year-old young man, he was an honor roll student. The young man had a bright future.
And back here live, Yarnell says he plans to find out what happened to his son. He also says it took 10 minutes for an ambulance to arrive on scene, which he says took too long. Of course, we are looking into those allegations. Live in Orlando, Valerie Boyd, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Val. And the Freefall Tower is the sister ride to the Orlando Starflyer, which is also at Icon Park. In September of 2020, a 21-year-old employee fell to his death as he was climbing that ride while doing inspections. He fell about 50 to 60 feet to an internal platform. We, of course, will continue to follow this developing story. As soon as we hear from ride inspectors or learn new details about what may have caused that teen to fall, we, of course, will let you know.
Right. That's nothing to play with. I don't really do amusement parks. Not that we have them in New Orleans, like talking about it. You know, I've never been maybe on a little mini roller coaster when I was a kid. But I'm going to tell you something. I've never shared this with anyone, but on one of the rides, it rides in a circle. It's not a Ferris wheel, but it rides basically like this, and then it gains speed. It's like trying to think if it's called like a circle top, but you sit in it, two people sit in it, and it goes rides counterclockwise, and it goes fast. It builds up speed. I was about 7, 8 years old. I was about 7 years old when I went on that ride with a friend. And during the ride, I don't remember if they even gave us if I had a belt on. I want to say that I did. I can't remember. The gate is closed, but as I'm sitting in, I could feel myself sliding as this ride's going. And my friend was holding me up, kept me in to get me back inside in the seat, to sit properly. And I couldn't wait because, you know, you have to let one person off at a time or two people at a time because the way the wheel worked. We used to have these fairs at St. Leo all the time at my school. You had to wait until the operator brought you down for each one. And I couldn't wait to get off that because I really thought I was going to fall to my death. I never shared that story. So these things are real. And from what I looked at, even the images, it seemed that it did seem like the brother didn't look like he was locked in all the way from my vantage point. Uh, this okay, I'm looking at this. If I'm not mistaken, when you see that looks like that's Tyree there. That looks like him. And someone had now this is before it went up. Now it goes up 430 feet. Now look at how far down there is and look at his. I could be wrong. I mean, yes, there's going to be an investigation, but he's big.
Make it go faster than 75. Was that like an invite?
I'm going to tell y'all. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I didn't know they were going to have that. I apologize. I didn't know they were going to have his body right there. I was looking at the I thought this was before the ride, and then they did it afterwards. My mistake. Y'all didn't see. Hope you all didn't see all of that. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to show. I thought it was just going to show this. I thought it was just before it. I didn't want it to play the whole clip, and they would show his body. I wouldn't have played it. But let me stop there. Yeah, but and they said even you can hear afterwards when he's lying there, when Tyree's lying there, they asked him, "Did you strap him in?" They was asking the operators, the little operators that come in. Yeah, we strapped him in. I made sure. The employees, yeah, I made sure the light was on. Well, could there have been a malfunction? There have had people that have died at some of these amusement parks, like even at a water slide, they had, I believe, a young girl that got decapitated. So these things do happen, though it doesn't happen all the time. But they shut down the ride. I probably would have shut down the park. Yeah, but either way, it was tragic. I really hated seeing that kid get killed. But we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Well, they have it marked as inappropriate if you want to see it, but I've seen videos of people getting shot on Facebook, on YouTube, which I think is even worse. I mean, this was a tragic accident. Not saying life isn't life; it's all important. But I've seen people get murdered. Even people have been murdered here on YouTube. I've seen worse. The video will probably still be up, but I won't, of course, tell you. I'm not a person that believes in censorship. However, I do have taste in class. If you all want to see the actual video, it is up. That's up to you. I personally, I looked at it because I wanted to see from a legal standpoint, just to see whether or not he was strapped in fully. Yeah, the video is age restricted. And you can choose whether you wish you understand to see it. But some of you obviously wouldn't want to see it. But if you go to a guy named Ogvatter, that's who has it up. But yeah, yeah, that's who has it. right? But y'all, we're gonna get up out of here, man. It's getting late. I gotta get up in the morning. But make sure you go to @CommonwealthCods, go to the Facebook page @CommonwealthCods, and subscribe to that channel. We also created our own, I should say this, I will be doing another trailer for it, as well as the trailer for the new podcast. I know I keep saying it over and over again, but trust me, by tomorrow, I'm working on my videos. My schedule has opened up freely, so deadlines will be catching up on. The other thing I want to tell you is go to Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. You can also go to Instagram page. We have a new Instagram page up that's Nawny's Cree Blends. Nawny's Cree Blends on yeah, this is our ID page. Let me share it with everybody. So yeah, y'all go there. Ma'am, they got the memes up already. Well, I'm not impressed. Tupac would have shot him. Man, y'all, I'm gonna get off out of here. Oh wait, Afion.
Man. That's a fucking joke, man. Damn, he smacked the shit out of me, man. Oh, it's gonna leave a mark, man. God damn. Oh, shit, man. I should have never said that joke, man. Oh, shit, man. Fire all the writers. Okay? Shit, man.
I've been called on in my life to love people and to protect people and smack the shit out of people for making jokes. Yeah, he should have had. Ooh, hello. Yeah. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? The Oscars are the social awards. Let me get on out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna tell y'all Tuesday a little bit more about my trip in the Songwriters Convention. It was pretty good in the convention. I really enjoyed it. Met a lot of people, and that was good. All right. Good night, y'all.